G'day guys! I wanted to get this out here. Just going to be a quick but kind of detailed build guide using Extra Life. I will make a gameplay video of this build soon once I've gotten all the parts together. This is a Helsing build. This is primarily focused around use of a crossbow, the Gunslinger class and the Alchemist class to output insane reload speed and loads of damage using fire modifiers. So, let's get started. I would suggest starting as the Gunslinger class. Get that up to 10 because our primary damage output will be coming from the Bullet Storm ability. Unleashes the full power and speed of the Gunslinger, increases fire rate 20% and reload speed by 50% of all ranged weapons. Lasts 20 seconds, and instead of becoming fully automatic, bows and crossbows gain 15% critical chance and 50% increased projectile speed. Very big. Now, as you can see right there, 50% reload speed. So remember that number. Moving on, our primary class, once we've unlocked it, will be the Alchemist, with Gunslinger slotted in the secondary slot. So we want to use the primary of the Alchemist so we can gain the concoction buffs, 4 of them at a time. We'll go a little bit over the concoction buffs later, but they're not too important. There's 2 concoctions I would say always run, but we'll get back to that. Now, moving down here, we want Frenzy Dust as our second ability on our bar. Increases fire rate, reload speed, and melee speed by 20%. So we're sitting on 70% reload speed right now as it is, which is, for a crossbow, incredibly fast shooting. And we're going to go over to gear. I would suggest running the High Noon set. Armor's entirely up to you, but I like to keep it around a medium armor so we can still roll. But the aesthetics of the High Noon set really just match at the moment, unless any more armor sets have been found that match a Van Helsing kind of look. Next we have the crossbow, obviously the most important weapon in the build. Fully upgraded, doing 345 base damage per bolt. Now obviously this shoots very slowly and obviously reloads very slowly, but that is completely altered with our build, making this shooting faster than a lot of rifles out there. Now we're going to slot the Slayer mutator on that crossbow. That will reload increases the damage of this weapon's next shot by 10%. That means every single shot from the crossbow will, except for the first shot I suppose, will be additional 20% damage and another 15% increased reload speed. That, if you're calculating correctly, I believe we're up to 75? No. 85% increased reload speed. Sure. Yep. 50%. 20%. 15%. 85. We are using the Hot Shot ability for the crossbow. Now we'll be able to use this ability a lot because of the rings we're going to be choosing, as well as the perk points or trait points that we're going to be putting in. Now this increases our damage output by 15% and does damage over time. Very good spreading out the damage. And will be our biggest elemental modifier for our single shot crossbow. Next up, we're going to be equipping the double barrel shotgun as the secondary. Now, I chose this just because of its aesthetics. You really can choose pretty much any sidearm you want, like the cowboy repeater. We have Witchfire attached to that as the mod, which basically just shoots a projectile, leaving a line of flaming terrain. Basically, we're setting the world on fire. This will be a weapon that we switch to, pop its mod, and switch back, basically. We're going to be using the failsafe mutator on that one, using 10% additional mod damage, so increasing the damage of that Witchfire blast all the way up to 20% and a 15% chance not to consume a charge. And because it's a double barrel, you might be able to pop that out twice. I chose the Bone Chopper melee. Doesn't really matter which melee you choose. I just think the Bone Chopper is more aesthetic. And we're using the Transference. Now, melee isn't completely useless with this build. So, melee hits generate 5% ammo reserves of both firearms. Moving down to fully upgraded, melee hits generate 5% ammo reserve. When a firearm reserve is full, melee strikes generate 100% additional mod power, meaning we can use our mods a lot more if we have full ammo. Moving on to the accessories. Now, the Talisman of the Sun is the biggest damage boost item we have for our fire damage. Increases fire damage by 20% and a whopping 15% additional damage to burning. This is a key item. Next item is the Blackout Ring. Now, this ring, after dealing 20% of the weapon's total magazine base damage, increases reload speed by 3%, stacks 5 times, cleared on reload. Now, because we're using a crossbow, this 5 stack will be applied instantaneously after every shot, meaning we have got to add an additional 15%, bringing us up to 100% increased reload speed. Moving down to the Outcast Ring. Now, this will require 5 shots to fully utilize, but bringing us up to 125% increased reload speed. We have the Firestone, increases fire damage by 10% and fire resistance by 15%. That increases our total fire damage to additional 30%. Very lovely. Next, we have the Big Bad. This is what's going to be pumping out our mod power the most. Reloading grants 25 to 30 mod power to both weapons based on percentage of the magazine's reload. Now, it says 25 to 30, so minimum 25 mod power every single time reload. We're going to be reloading 125% faster, and every single time we do that, we're generating mod power. So our mods are going to be up so often that we're just going to be cycling between shooting our mod power, which is exactly what we want. Now, let's have a look at the traits real quickly. I would highly suggest getting Spirit. Spirit and Expertise up as fast as possible. Don't worry too much about anything else. You want your Spirit and Expertise because this is how you output the insane amounts of damage. Once you've maxed out these ones, and if you manage to get these additional ones, I would suggest the, where is it? Siphoner. Maxing out Siphoner. At max, it increases your lifesteal by 3%, and Bark Skin reduces all incoming damage by 10%. I would max out those after that. Now, next, we're moving on to those concoctions. Now, if you remember, we can have 4 concoctions at a time, and we want the ads. This one, and where is it? This one. Okay. Reduces school cooldown by 10%, lasts 60 minutes. So obviously, massive 10% reduction to cooldown. having that up all the time will be absolutely amazing for our Helsing build. Next, we have the Sanguine Vapor, which increases lifesteal by 3.5. That means that if you do manage to get that trait, it allows you to lifesteal at 3%. We're now doing 6.5% lifesteal based on the damage that we're doing. Now, the damage that we're doing is going to be incredibly high. So our heal rate, self-heal rate while we're shooting is going to be insane. And lastly, if you want, use bark extract. These are the three that I suggest, but these two are the primary ones I would suggest getting all the time. The rest of them are kind of up to you. I do prefer the bark extract because it will make you tougher overall. That is it. That is the video. I hope to make a proper video on this once I've gotten all the parts together. I'm still playing through the campaign, but we've gotten most of the primary parts. We just haven't visited the location to get this item. Losome. I haven't been to Losome yet. So once we've got to Losome, we should be able to finish the build, and then I'll make another video. That is it. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your time in Remnant 2.